All right. Test.
Test.
Test. Call it again?
Convincing idiots.
Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Cajun.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
And welcome back to Convincing Idiots. We are going to talk about comic books. Get back to our nerdy roots, so to speak. And I want to start out first by apologizing for this third segment of how I sound. My phone was going to die, so I have to plug it in. And with Apple changing their plug-in situation where the headphones and the charging is both one, as you all know, what sort of pain in the ass that is. That's what I have to deal with. My phone's charging, so we can do this segment. And I have to have these earbuds in, and so my audio might not be as loud or clear as it once was. So this is what you get. You know, the shit's free, so take it for what it is. Ryan, where are we going to start on this comic book journey on in the third segment?
okay, yeah. So we did have another unfortunate, iconic comic book artist pass away, as I mentioned prior. Last week, matter of fact, our whole main segment last week was talking about Neil Adams, who passed away recently, and some of our favorite comic book artists of all time and their influence and some of their best work. And so go back and check that out if you haven't listened to that already. That was last week's episode. These guys are sketchy, it was called. George Perez passed away, aged 67, and the poor man was battling pancreatic cancer for a time. He passed away this past Friday. Again, if you don't know his name, if you look up his work, you'll almost certainly recognize a lot of his work if you were a comic book fan. Going back and looking at a lot of his stuff, I could see like he drew for the series The Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet is the storyline that the Avengers Thanos whole story arc is based on.
Oh, okay.
So he was the artist, at least for some of that, at the very least. He drew one of the most iconic covers in Marvel history with Thanos, with the Infinity Gauntlet on the cover, Infinity Gauntlet. He was a co-creator of the Teen Titans back in 1980. So the Teen Titans are still very prevalent in the pop culture world today. Go ahead.
I'm going to give a shout out. For last year's Father's Day, my son Carter
Mhm.
did this for me.
There you go. Infinity Gauntlet. Yep.
Reality's best dad.
That's nice.
So
Very nice.
we'll put him next to Golden Dean.
There you go. That's perfect. Like I said, he was a co-creator of the Teen Titans, who are very prevalent today still with animated series, and there's a new live action series on HBO Max. It's more of a serious tone of the Teen Titans. And he was definitely known for...
So he did Marvel and DC.
He did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
he did. He was known also for, in the mid-'80s, they returned Wonder Woman back to her Greek mythology roots. And George Perez was the artist of that storyline and gave kind of Wonder Woman more of a sleek look. And George Perez's version of Wonder Woman is the influence of how the Wonder Woman, how Gal Gadot dresses in those movies. So the female director, I don't know her name offhand, sorry.
You have him to thank for that? Wow.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. Yes, indeed. So Patty Jenkins, that's the director. So Patty Jenkins said that his interpretation was a major influence of how Wonder Woman looks in the movies even today. So very, very cool. He also, you might know this one, he helped ink the closure of a chapter on Superman. So there was an iconic storyline of Superman, and Superman's holding Supergirl like dead in his arms, and he's crying.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was
So
him?
that was George Perez who drew that. So
Okay.
yeah. So unfortunate passing. Again, great artist, definitely influential in the world of comic books. So we just wanted to take a moment and recognize Mr. Perez. So rest in peace, sir. Yes.
So shall we say here at Convincing Idiots, George Perez, rest in ink. Yeah?
Very good.
Not bad, right?
I like that. I know we were kind of messing around with, goofing around with, we saw an interesting hashtag of, explaining movie plot badly. So we've been goofing around with some of these in the last couple episodes here. So I got one for you, Dean. So I'm going to give you a bad explanation of a movie plot. Okay,
Right.
see if you can guess it.
Do it.
All right. A troubled teen battles mixed emotions about his mother and wonders if he could only change the past, how it could impact his present. A troubled teen battles mixed emotions about his mother and wonders if he could only change the past, how it could impact his present.
That's not Thor.
Nope.
Thor was older.
Right?
Now, what was it?
Who I'm talking about is Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't. It did pop into my head a little bit when
That's
you
all right.
when you said.
And I got one more for you.
Okay.
A man battles severe anger issues by trying alternative approaches. A man battles severe anger issues by trying alternative approaches.
Brian, if I'm going to take a wild guess on this,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that movie might be The Incredible Hulk.
That is correct, sir.
Hey, look
That's
at
right.
that.
That's right. So we mentioned this earlier. May 1st, back in 1962, Hulk #1 debuted. So the Hulk is turning 60 years. So the Hulk has a motherfucking AARP card like I do at this
He sure
rate.
does.
Yeah. So, Hulk's kind of definitely an interesting character. Created by Stan Lee and artist Jack King Kirby. So,
Sure.
two of the greatest comic talents that ever lived was those two gentlemen. When the Hulk first started out, we all know the story. Well, maybe you don't know the story. So we know Bruce Banner. If you're even a remote comic book fan, watch the movies and all that, we know Bruce Banner. There was a gamma radiation accident. He went out and there was a kid, Rick Jones, that was out on a test field in the desert. That's right. So Bruce Banner saw this. They were testing a gamma bomb. Ran out there, saved the kid, pushed him in a ditch, and absorbed a lot of gamma radiation. And it caused Bruce Banner to. That's right. It caused Bruce Banner to morph into the Incredible Hulk. Now, the original storyline was he would only turn into the Hulk at night. So the Hulk was gray originally in the comics. He would turn into this kind of brooding beast at night. And then
kind of like you.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Stanley didn't like the look of the gray in the comics. He thought it was too dull, and he wanted to brighten it up. So I think it was green, it was bright. I think it might have been also that it was just cheap ink to use or something at the time. But green popped off the page more. So they made him green eventually. Shortly thereafter. The Hulk's been gray. They've done different gray storylines throughout the years, but they evolved the character to turn into the Hulk when Bruce Banner would get upset and angry and then the rest is history from there with that character. So, kind of a tragic character. He loves Betty Ross.
Oop.
Excuse me.
Boss. I was so close.
Yeah, he's always hunted. People accuse him of being a this ravaged beast out there, where the Hulk just really, at the end of the day.
Again, that describes you.
That's right.
Ravaged
Exactly.
beast.
Yep. I get upset. I just go smashing downtown Barberton. Every so often.
Oh, I was more thinking of like how women describe you as a ravaged beast.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. I have so many T-shirts I've just ripped off my body just to it's hard to keep up with.
That was awkward at the wedding this weekend.
It was. I was like, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Yep. Ripped the dress shirt right off and the jacket, and I stood there with just no shirt and just a tie for the rest of the ceremony. It's pretty cool.
I heard Grandma was a huge fan though.
But it's again, the Hulk. Like I said, tragic character. He definitely one of the most interesting characters. Because not many superheroes aren't always the superhero in disguise. Obviously, Bruce Banner morphs into the Hulk.
Right.
Can't control it. There's been different connotations where he could control it. They've had different versions, certainly, where he's got the Hulk has Bruce Banner's mind. They've done that even in the Avengers movie. But for the most part, it just the inner anger that he feels comes out. And the Hulk really, at the end of the day, just wants to be left alone. He just doesn't want to be bothered very often with humans.
Okay.
And that's been sort of a ongoing story arc and personality of the Hulk. So, anyway,
I've got a question.
Go ahead, please.
I don't know how much research you've done, Batman,
Mm-hmm.
or if you know this off the top of your head. But was the inner rage in Banner?
That is a great question. So
does it
go
bring out your inner whatever? So, like, if somebody's inner thing isn't rage, it's love. Does this pink or red Hulk come out where he's just a ladies' man and wants to just fuck everything?
Yeah.
I mean, is it your inner thing that's inside you, or will it be rage and anger of anybody?
With different versions of the Hulk, they've explained that sort of in different ways, I believe. So, like we've had the She-Hulk. Now, originally the She-Hulk, now she took some of Bruce Banner's blood in an emergency blood transfusion to save her life, and that's his niece. Okay, we're going to see She-Hulk in an upcoming series on Disney Plus. I think originally she did that. She did be angry. They did the whole normal transformation deal, but then they evolved her character to where she was just always She-Hulk. So she had the smarts, and she's just a powerful presence, and just the gamma, the big and green. She's big and green, and that's it. Obviously, she has she's confident, and she has her original mind. They've had other Hulks. What's that?
There's always a love interest. Who's her love interest?
I don't know her love interest in the comics. I think she
have one.
There was one storyline where
somebody getting that green tang there. Huh?
She talked about. We talked about this when we talked about the Eternals. There was Star Fox made an appearance at the end, played by Harry. Yes, thank you, Harry Styles. That character had as some type of affair, I think, with She-Hulk over time. So she's had different love interests, I think, with regular dudes. I was never a big She-Hulk. I always liked the character, but I never was really a reader of her storyline. But
okay.
But it's just a different version of the Hulk. She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Even though, like, in the wrong situation, or
if she wasn't,
she could snap you in half. physically.
Oh, if she wasn't happy what you were doing downstairs, she could probably just smash your head with her knees.
Like a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's a lot of pressure. But
yeah, I mean, you better have your A game. When, looking at tongue there, but
yeah, big time. But Rick Jones he's become the Hulk over time. The kid that he saved. They had another guy, Doc Samson, had got some gamma radiation, and he was like a normal dude. Just was big and strong. They had a Red Hulk storyline, which was very popular for a little while, and it was another kind of a smarter Hulk.
Sure.
And he turned out to be actual General Ross was the Red Hulk. So, Thunderbolt Ross was the Hulk in that storyline, the Red Hulk.
They also had the Abomination.
Yes, they did. That's right. So he tried to copy the powers of the Hulk, that guy, Emil Blonsky or something like that. And he became that reptile, super strong guy. So short answer is it's not always just gets angry, but Bruce Banner. Now they've covered this in various storylines. I was looking at some of the more famous Hulk storylines, like what's the best Hulk storylines, and there's a lot of them out there. We could talk about a couple of them, but one of the ones that I remembered back in the 80s was called The Crossroads. So at that time, Hulk had
Did he
Bruce
sell
Banner.
his soul to the devil to play the guitar like nobody's business.
The Crossroads. No, this was different. This was not the Crossroads album. No.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the storyline at the time was, the Hulk had. This is all the way back in Hulk number 300 for the original line, the Incredible Hulk. This is in the 80s. Bruce Banner, he became a smart Hulk at the time. Hulk was a hero, and then a villain basically released. He separated the minds again, and the Hulk became just Bruce Banner's personality just went completely away, and it was just a mindless, raging Hulk, destroying everything. And Doctor Strange banished the Hulk. Either kind of kill him or get rid of him because they can't handle him. He banished him to this world of Crossroads. So it was kind of the dumb, brooding Hulk in this storyline. Every issue, it was like in this mystical crossroads place. So he would go down a path, and it would be a different storyline, like a different world that they would put the Hulk into for a story. And it was just all over the place. But they went into, I think for the very first time, you got a glimpse of the childhood of Bruce Banner, and he was an angry kid. His father was abusive, mentally abusive. I think he was physically abusive as well, and he would retreat to his room, and you saw him start to get angry as a young kid, but he had to hold it in.
Okay.
So that was kind of the start of all of that. So,
that kind of like what they did with what was the Thor movie, where they fight the Hulk? Jeff Goldblum had him,
Oh, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like where they.
Yes.
Did they really even explain how the Hulk got there?
Well, he crashed.
They didn't with a passing sentence.
The Quinjet crashed, so he was flying the Quinjet, and it crashed. Okay. He just kind of wound up there. Okay.
Gotcha.
That movie there, Ragnarok, was actually based on one of the more famous Hulk storylines at the time, was World War Hulk. So, actually, no, I take that back. It was the one prior to that, and I'll tell you what it is in 1 second here. It was.
I mean, the
Planet Hulk.
The what?
It was Planet Hulk. So This was another storyline where the Hulk was. So the Crossroads was one when they went storyline. He was banished. Planet Hulk again, the same type of deal. He was raging on Earth again, and he was banished by the Illuminati, and the Illuminati There was references to it in the new Doctor Strange movie. We're not going into the details, but it's just a panel of heroes from different parts of the galaxy and different whatever, and they help make decisions, whatever, to better whatever. So they banished the Hulk to what they thought was a vacant planet, but it was not vacant. It was a planet where he was forced to be a gladiator and fight, and then he eventually escaped and fought for the people and became a hero and became like a king on this planet. So that was Planet Hulk. That's what Ragnarok was based on. The whole thing with Hulk fighting as a gladiator. Okay. Eventually, that planet was destroyed, and Hulk came back and wanted to seek revenge on the Illuminati, and had a whole storyline, World War Hulk. So Hulk was determined to go after the Illuminati, which had some prevalent Marvel characters, and he was just super pissed off. And it only until he decided to stop fighting did that damage. And so those two storylines are two of the more famous, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. But again, more references to some of these great stories that they brought into the Marvel movies.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize until doing the research, I didn't know a lot about Hulk. I did learn a lot, in the research. But the one thing, do you remember why they called him David Banner in the TV series?
They thought Bruce was like a too feminine of a name.
Really? I thought there was a legal situation.
Nope. David Bruce Banner. The reason they called it because they didn't like the name Bruce. They thought it was too feminine for a television show.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. So there you have it. So you see his name is David Bruce Banner on the show. Yep.
To me, when I was a kid, was there anything more haunting than that music at the end of him walking down the road? That's especially for a child.
Yes. Yeah, of all the superhero, I mean, it's certainly of the earlier ones of the 70s. The Hulk was definitely one of the best ones.
Absolutely.
Lou Ferrigno was terrific. He looked the role, certainly. They had no CGI back then. It was just, let's get a big muscular dude to play the Hulk. I thought they pulled it off pretty well. And Bill Bixby was a fabulous actor in his own right and a terrific Bruce Banner.
They even did an episode with Bigfoot portrayed by Andre the Giant.
I thought that was $6 Million Man.
What? Oh, shit! You might be right. Damn it!
That's all right.
At least I get to shout out that episode. So
that's okay. It is a good episode. By the way, you can find all that. You can find the Hulk, the $6 Million Man. I think they're out streaming for free. So I think the $6 Million Man is on NBC.com for free. And the Hulk is out there. Maybe it might be NBC or ABC. I can't remember, but it's all out there for free. You can find those streaming out there on the apps.
Fall Guy too. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
Of course. I think the Fall Guy fought Bigfoot on another episode as well. I think it was Lee Majors as the Fall Guy fighting Bigfoot as well with. Andre the Giant reprising the role or something to that effect. Yeah. But yeah, as far as TV shows back then, it was a very cool version. I mean, it's 70s, so there's definitely a lot of campiness to it. But Bruce Banner in that, you felt bad for the guy because he had to continue. He was running from the law, running from this reporter guy that thought that the Hulk killed somebody. He can't hold down a job. He's a genius, and he has to resort to doing odd jobs just to get money to survive. And at the end of this episode, he's got to leave town because something's happened with the Hulk, and he's got to get out of there. So he's always on the run in that TV series.
See, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Hulk. I didn't read the comic books, so to me, the Hulk was that TV series. So
sure,
when I hear all of this comes up and stuff. My version of the Hulk is a sad character. You're very, you feel bad for him, given the situation you're in. and all the other versions in the comic books, you might not feel bad for him, but you don't. It's not the same feeling. You know what I mean? There's superhero feelings. You didn't really have the superhero feeling in that TV series.
Right.
So to me, the Hulk wasn't like an Avenger. The Hulk wasn't that, saving the world depiction. To me, he was the sad, brooding character that I saw on the TV with Bill Bixby portraying.
Sure. Yeah, and it definitely translated very often into the comics. It's just like I said, for the most part, he just wanted to be left alone. He didn't want to be bothered, but he was forced to, because of his appearance or otherwise, and he would be put into. Well, honestly, yeah. In that respect, that's actually a good point. In that respect, the Hulk is relatable to a lot of people. I have this power. I have all this strength on the outside, right? But at the end of the day,
I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Until I went to see the doctor, some things were green. Yeah, I relate a lot to the Hulk.
Sure. Absolutely. I don't know what else. There's all kinds of stuff you can say. I mean, I'll let you. Another interesting storyline, if you get into the comic books at all, there's a story, Future Imperfect. Okay, Future Imperfect, the Hulk storyline. The main character is a futuristic version of the Hulk called the Maestro. So it's the Hulk with a big gray beard. Okay, he's a smart Hulk, and again, he's in the future. So Hulk fights himself in the future in the storyline. So he's fighting himself, though, who is a much older and wiser version of himself. So it's a very interesting story arc, and the character,
right? I mean, just because you know a little more, you have a little more thought into the fight.
He knows everything. So the Maestro is the Hulk, so he knows everything the Hulk knows, and then some, right? So there's been some reboots, not reboots, but there's been some reissues, not even reissues, but new stories. I'm trying to say of the Maestro. Limited series out there that I've picked up. So, again, a very interesting character in his own right.
Because you now have the gray beard and the knowledge and wisdom.
Yes.
Can you beat up younger Brian?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be very easy. Very easy to outsmart. That's for sure.
And do you feel bad for him, or do you beat his ass and then hold up his head and be like, "Don't do this in the future"?
Yeah, be for his own good.
Don't join a podcast with two idiots.
That's right. Yeah,
right.
It'd be for his own good. That's for sure.
You're just helping.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so we could go on and on about the Hulk here. Definitely a very interesting character. One of my personal favorites is, as a kid, one of the first superhero posters I had hanging in my bedroom as a boy was the Hulk. I had Spider-Man and the Hulk, just because it was a visually interesting character. The fact that he would get stronger as he got angrier was another fun dynamic. The whole powerful Hulk smash stuff was great. He's the strongest mortal being on the earth. So the Hulk can be killed. He's very hard to kill. He's impervious to a lot of things, and the angrier that he gets, the stronger that he gets, has been one of his main powers, I guess, if you will. Didn't do that great.
Impervious to STDs?
I think so.
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really shoot him.
Most mightiest hero.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't play as well in the movies. The first movie was terrible. Second one was better.
The thing. Yeah.
No. But they've definitely done better by him with the Mark Ruffalo version. That's the more traditional version. I like that a lot. So, with the Avengers movies, maybe he'll get a standalone something someday. I don't know. But
it's weird that he's happened.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's a contract thing or maybe it's just hard to put that character in his own story without the supporting group around him, maybe. I don't know.
But you could take a couple characters or one other character and bring him into that movie and still call it the Hulk.
Sure. Yeah, some of these storylines that again, like that Maestro one, that'd be a very interesting storyline for the Hulk.
Right.
You know, or even the Red Hulk. You know, the Red Hulk with Thunderbolt Ross or something that effect. Maybe when they introduce Wolverine, they'll consider Hulk fighting Wolverine or something. Who knows? I don't know. He's interesting. They could do a lot more with him. I don't know. But anyway, any final words on the Hulk, Dean? Is he one of your favorite heroes? Not as much. What do you think?
He wasn't growing up, but like for example, the MCU, he has developed into one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Given Mark Ruffalo is a terrific actor, so that probably has a lot to do with it. But yeah, and even this discussion here, I've gotten more insight into the character itself. So yeah, I'd be all for a standalone Hulk movie, or even go back to read, some of the other comic books. Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, get some of his graphic novels. As you said, they're very, very good stuff. Very interesting here. So, okay. Yeah, so again, like I said, one of my favorite characters of all time is, and like, almost like a Superman. You'd be hard pressed if you did not show a young child, even today, who's is barely aware of comic book heroes. If you showed a young kid, a big green monster guy, kid probably knows it's the Hulk.
Correct.
So okay. So long live the Hulk! Happy birthday, Hulk! And again, another stellar creation by the great immortal Stan Lee and Jack King Kirby. So yeah, Hulk's going to live on for many, many years. So, all right, guys. Dean, we've been talking about a lot of good stuff here.
Yep.
Any final thoughts on anything, sir, before we wrap up?
I'm just happy to do this with you. I miss Nick, and when he's done having a bubble bath with his dog,
yes,
we look forward to seeing him next week. But until then, I don't honestly remember. Does Nick have a lot of the stuff written down when he does the end? Or is it off the top of his head?
We'll mention that. We never did mention where you can find the show. So, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So, you can find us. Yeah, that's all right. You can find us out there. There's a few different places here. So, you can listen to us on demand whenever you want to on your favorite podcast platforms. We are out there on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Verbal, Stitcher, and a lot more. So just find your podcast platform of preference. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. And we publish new episodes every week. They'll pop in your feed for you free of charge. You can find all of ours.
Yes, YouTube.
Yes, YouTube, Convincing Idiots, our YouTube channel. All video episodes are out there. You can find for free, absolutely. You can find links to all our social media, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff in two main places. Our Linktree account, just go to Linktree, Convincing Idiots. It's simply a page, nothing to log into, with links to all of our stuff. Very easy. And our website, Convincing Idiots, one word, .wordpress.com. All show information is there, links to episodes, links to where you can listen to the show, promos, bios, links to our videos. And if you wish to sponsor the show and throw a couple bucks our way, you could do that as well.
You can on our website.
Absolutely. Pictures of Nick's feet. That's going to be a premium subscriber feature coming up here at some point. Absolutely. But yeah, links to our Patreon accounts there if you wish to sponsor the show. If you like our stuff, thank you. Give us a like, a share, a subscribe. It means more. It's exactly right. It means more than you know. So we thank you for your support out there. Thank you for everybody listening to us in the U.S. and overseas. We greatly appreciate it. Hope we a little bit of we give you a smile on your face once a week. Then it's worth it right there.
Like when a baby has gas, they get a little grin on their face.
That's right. Exactly. It's the equivalent.
We are just like baby farts.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that might be a new slogan. All right, so for Convincing Idiots, I am Gen X Brian.
I am the Xennial Dean.
Have we convinced you that the Hulk just needs to be left alone? Gen X Brian here, Xennial Dean, Millennial Nick. If you like our stuff, give us a like and subscribe, and we may just send you a Polaroid of Millennial Nick's feet.